The Recovery Advocacy Project, RAP, is committed to giving people in recovery from all pathways, family members, and supporters of recovery the grassroots organizing tools to think and act locally. When we stop and think about why people speak out and get involved in recovery advocacy or activism, most often people will share that it was a personal or local experience that motivated them. While the local experience that inspires each and every one of us may differ, it is the fuel that moves us all forward. Thinking and acting locally on the grassroots level allows advocates to identify solutions that are unique to their own community's needs and barriers. It makes sense that the issues organizers in Alaska are working on are different than the issues for advocates in Tennessee or Rhode Island or California. In fact, issues differ from community to community in each and every one of those states, which is why Recovery Advocacy Project subscribes to prioritizing community organizing on the local grassroots level. It is also easier to build relationships with local decision makers, like elected officials, than electeds on the federal level. RAP is working to build a visible and effective constituency in demand of community and public policy-based solutions in response to America's long-standing addiction crisis. While there are many issues impacting the communities throughout the state you live in, working to identify unifying campaigns that bring everybody together builds the overall advocacy capacity towards the social and public policy changes that can help people in recovery for years to come. Let's give an entire generation of advocates the community and relational organizing skills and tools to empower one another to make those necessary changes together. The Recovery Advocacy Project believes a diverse movement full of unique life experiences and perspectives will foster vibrant and creative campaigns and solutions. RAP has a goal of diversity, intersectionality, and inclusivity on all levels for a stronger, unified movement. Addiction recovery impacts everyone. Individuals are a part of this movement for different reasons and come from different backgrounds, whether they identify as people in recovery, people who use drugs, family members, BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, people of color, harm reduction advocates, LGBTQAI+, persons living with mental illness, persons that are differently abled, or recovery allies. It is important all voices are heard and respected. There is a saying that encourages grassroots organizers to focus on the soil instead of treating the plants individually, meaning to create a movement that benefits everyone is centered around inclusion. Everyone's voice needs to be at the table for us to grow with one another and be sure no individuals or communities are left behind. Creating a culture that is welcoming, empowering, and speaks to all is an ongoing priority. It is important for all of us to ask ourselves if everyone is being represented and included in our advocacy efforts and spaces. It is also important that we continue to educate ourselves and challenge our assumptions about race, gender, class, identity, and other factors that affect both addiction and recovery. As a growing recovery advocacy movement, it's important to actively work to dismantle structures of oppression and create meaningful representation at every level. Centering actions, campaigns, and solutions with voices that have historically been marginalized and speaking to issues that impact marginalized communities not only reflects recovery guiding principles, it opens a space of shared learning, shared experiences, and shared respect for one another. Recovery Advocacy Project has an Inclusivity Caucus. If you identify as LGBTQAI+ or BIPOC, we encourage you to join the Inclusivity Caucus by visiting recoveryvoices.com. Each state has a RAP organizing team. The role of the state organizing team is to provide the guidance and organizing tools to the recovery community on the grassroots level. RAP teams strive to be an inclusive and diverse group of new and seasoned individuals that work together to listen to people in their communities to be sure the solutions are grassroots guided. Together, the team supports all pathways of recovery, including harm reduction, as well as family members and others that provide support to people in recovery. RAP state organizing teams value volunteerism, stewardship, and decentralized leadership. While team members may have different roles on the team, there is no one leader that everybody follows. Decentralized leadership means focusing on the movement and the issues as opposed to any one individual. It means focus on what is being maintained instead of the one doing the maintaining. Stewardship is caring for something that is larger than any one individual. It's the responsibility of building on the progress that others have made before us in the recovery advocacy movement. State organizing team members aim to put the priorities of the communities they are organizing first and work to empower others to grow and thrive as community organizers. Your state organizing team also has the capacity to work with anyone in the recovery community that wants to start a petition, letter writing campaign, or organize an event. To find out more about campaigns and actions in your state, visit recoveryvoices.com. In addition to the actions already happening in your state, let's review some additional tools already available to you. Many of the tools that are already available to you as a grassroots advocate live on the Recovery Advocacy Project website. At recoveryvoices.com, you can find a wide variety of how-to advocacy guides that can help you as a community organizer. The website also features a model state legislation page that highlights state laws that have already passed and cover many different issues impacting the recovery community. The model legislation page also highlights executive orders mayors and governors can take, sample talking points on some issues, and even a few state ballot initiatives voters have approved to change state policy around addiction and recovery. These local and state initiatives can be duplicated in other states, and we encourage you to explore the site and share the content with lawmakers and advocates. Additional civic engagement tools can be found on the Vote Recovery page at recoveryvoices.com/vote. The Vote Recovery page is a resource hub that allows grassroots recovery advocates to register to vote, dive deeper into issues that impact them, research who their candidates and elected officials are and where they stand on the issues, and learn about voter rights and restoration. Take some time to explore all the tools available. If there is something you need as a grassroots organizer that you can't find on the site, please alert your state organizing team with the request. A key to building this growing recovery advocacy movement is through relational organizing. Relational organizing is all about growing advocacy capacity through the people and networks we already know. Once you have explored the tools and resources, take some time to encourage and empower others to get involved in their community and state RAP campaigns. Share this video to encourage others to learn about Recovery Advocacy Project, the movement, effective strategies, and how they can get involved. Thank you for your interest, volunteerism, and passion towards community and policy change around America's addiction crisis. We appreciate you being a part of the solution.